Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is doing fantastic. In a couple of minutes, we'll be starting our virtual open day. We're really excited today to show you virtually our school. I know that many of our families were attending today. We're also able to join us for a personal tour. So I really hope to soon get to know all of you as we have families really joining from all over the world. So this is really, really exciting what technology can do. Just to give you a little preview, so this virtual open day will last about an hour. We will have several of our team members, FSLT, senior leadership team, talking to you today about their departments, and as well as our principal, Ms. Cowell, presenting you our school. Just quickly get something done. We will start, well, obviously, by welcoming you all to our virtual open day. Ms. Cowell, our principal, will talk to you about the school, about the vision, about our ethos, our school values, generally a little bit about what really our school is all about. Ms. Laura Hodson, who is the acting head of primary here at BIC Porrassa, she will go a little bit more in detail into the primary curriculum. I know we have a lot of families who are joining us for the primary ages. We have Ms. Alexandra Tomlinson. She's our head of secondary. She will go a little bit more in detail into the life in secondary school here at BIC Porrassa, and will briefly touch base as well on our sixth form. We will shortly, by the month of November, we'll have different events talking just primarily about sixth form. So we are also kindly inviting you to those. Some of them will be here in school, and some of them will be virtual as well. We are also very excited to we'll show you a little video about our school. It's our sixth form students who will be showing you around today. They go into different classes. They really talk a little bit about their own experience. But as said, whenever you get the time to visit us, they're also more than happy to guide you, to show you, and also explain a little bit more about our school. And then at the end of the presentation, we will do our live Q&A session. So how this works, and on your screen, you will see a little button that says Q&A. So please click on there during the presentation, after the presentation, whenever any questions may raise, please type them in that box, and we will make sure to read them out loud and go over all of them. We do understand that sometimes there are questions that are a bit more specific to your children, a little bit more on the personal questions. So obviously after this presentation, we'll be in touch with you and we'll be able to answer all of them. If you wish to have a one-on-one call with our principal, with our leading team of primary and secondary, we're also more than happy to arrange that in case you have not made it to the island. So if you are on the island, we really urge you to come and visit us because you will be able to really feel what is the day-to-day here in school. After the live Q&A session, we're going to be recording this session as well, because I know that some of our families were not able to make it today. So we're going to share that with all of you, so you can go back, you can revise any type of information that you want to, and obviously contact us anytime. I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to do a little brief introduction in Spanish, because I could be talking forever. So I hope you enjoy. I really enjoyed this tour of our school. And again, any question, no matter as little as they are, please ask them, and we'll make sure to cover those as well at the end of the presentation. Para nuestras familias españolas, bueno, bienvenidas a todos. Muchas gracias por estar hoy con nosotros. Lo que estaba ahora mismo comentando un poco en inglés es que, bueno, la presentación será en inglés. Si ustedes quieren tener alguna presentación, quieren venir a ver la escuela y tener esta presentación en español, estamos más que encantados de organizar una llamada personalizada, individual con vosotros, y podremos explicaros absolutamente todo. Si tenéis cualquier pregunta durante la presentación, por favor, encontraréis en vuestra pantalla un pequeño botón que se llama Q&A. Si clican en este botón, pueden escribir cualquier pregunta que tengan, ¿vale? Yo las podré traducir y se podrán responder también en castellano. Mrs. Tomlinson habla fantásticamente español, así que también podrá contestar cualquier pregunta que tengan. Así que espero que realmente disfruten de esta presentación, y cualquier pregunta, como he dicho, por favor no dudéis en decírnoslo. Vamos a grabar esta presentación, así que cuando termine este webinar, nosotros lo compartiremos con todas las familias que han estado hoy con nosotros. Así que muchísimas gracias, y bueno, espero que disfruten de todo esto. Welcome again to everyone, and well, I really hope you enjoy this. I'm going to pass on the word now to Miss Cowell. Welcome, Miss Cowell.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Janine. Thank you for that introduction. Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly.
Yeah, well, thank you, and a warm welcome to our families. Echo Janine's welcome to everybody. I'm aware that some of you we may have met across the powers of Zoom previously. We may even have met in person, and some of you we haven't met at all. So forgive me if some of you who've met us hear things you've heard already. We're very passionate about our school, and the most important point of this evening, is to give you as much information and to answer as many questions as possible about our school. I've been the principal at BIC Porrassa now for 2 years, so I'm not the new principal anymore. I've been here 2 years, and I feel that we are a well-established leadership across the school. We're very proud of what we've done in the last 2 years across the school. I came 2 years ago, and then 6 months in, we hit a pandemic, and so there were lots of challenges across a new job, and then the challenges that brought us. But I'm very proud of the work that has gone on across the school, across all parts of the school over the last 2 years, and we really are an outstanding school. We're part of a wider school group, Orbital. This gives many benefits and many strengths. Although we're owned by a global education group that, as I say, brings advantages and brings support and brings cross-school collaborative working opportunities, and there are many of those, and we've utilised those, including during the lockdown, but also beyond that. But we do operate as autonomous schools. So we're not micromanaged by any central organisation. We are allowed to, the principals are allowed to run the schools with their leadership team as they see best. So we get the best of both worlds. We get some security and the infrastructure and the back hinterland of all of those benefits of being in a strong global group, but with the independence to run the schools as we think best. There are 2 schools on Mallorca that are in the Orbital group. We have St. Auguste, a wonderful primary school run by Mrs. Short, led by Mrs. Short, and we have BIC Porrassa, which is a larger school. It is an all-through school, so we take children from year 3 reception all the way through to age 18, year 13, as we send them off to university in the world of work. So we work very closely together as 2 sister schools, but we work independently. I always say to our families, and if you've heard me before, you will have heard me say this, that we are a British international school, and the emphasis is on both of those words. Both are equally important to us. We are a British school. We bring the best of a UK education to the island and to our students. Our teachers are all UK trained. They have UK teacher training qualifications, and many of them, including myself, have significant amount of experience working in schools in the UK. We bring the best of British. We are unashamedly British. We have the best of teacher training and teaching and learning in British education, but all those other features and aspects of the best of British schools that make schools wonderful, vibrant places to be. We have a house system. We have a lot of inter-house events. We have a lot of activities that go on, and we have we place a lot of store on character development and on building resilience and determination in our young people, and developing the school's values of compassion and respect and integrity in our young people. So the best of an all-round British education. But the international side of our school is equally important. A British international school. We welcome students from over 40 different nationalities, and we celebrate, we love, we embrace that diversity and that internationalism. And of course, as you would expect, languages, the teaching of languages is a central element of our curriculum. You can see here some photos. If you haven't actually visited the school site, you can see on this slide that we are blessed by being surrounded by countryside. We are in a beautiful part of southwestern Mallorca. We have a lot of open space. I may have been there 2 years, but I'm still excited every time we see the chickens wandering around our grounds, because we are very much in open space. We make the most of being in the great outdoors. We do a lot of teaching outside. Our teachers will take students not just for the obvious activities of sport and recreation, but will take learning outside of the classroom to take advantage of the space and the facilities that we have. And we have lots of great facilities inside the school as well. We've also got a lot of plans to further enhance and extend the facilities of the school. As you can see from the pictures, and if you visited us, there are great strengths in the school. But as I say to families, when I came 2 years ago, the buildings, the facilities, that was not my priority. That was not the most important thing. What goes on in those classrooms and in those places of learning, the quality of the teachers, the care for our children, their enjoyment of school, that was, and that remains the priority. But now 2 years in, with so many fantastic developments well underway and established, and as the strength of the school just goes from strength to strength, we are turning more now to some of the fabric, some of the facilities improvements and investments that are needed to make a good school even better. And you can see that, and if you've visited us, you can see, as I say, not least the outside space, the lovely outdoor swimming pool, the recreation, sporting facilities, and the specialist teaching areas. I mentioned earlier about internationalism and the diversity of our student body being as important to us as promoting the British side of education. And we welcome children with varying levels of English. Some of our younger learners come to us with no English. They make incredibly rapid progress by being in an international, in a British international school where the teaching is in English, and of course hearing and being saturated with English, which is why many of our families choose, of course, to come to our school. But they also get additional help and support from specialist teachers. So we assess all of our students upon entry, and for those students where English is not their mother tongue and they might need some additional help beyond the curriculum, we give that as well through our specialist teaching and support for students for English as an additional language. And as I said just earlier, the teaching of languages is at the heart of our curriculum. All students are taught and learn Spanish, whether they join us at 3 or they join us at 15, all students learn Spanish across the school. It's a big part of our curriculum, with 4 to 5 hours a week of Spanish teaching from an excellent team of Spanish teachers. And students can also have the opportunity to study German. They can study German as their mother tongue, or they can learn German as a foreign language, and also the same for French and Catalan. And we also offer families the choice to not pick up a third language if English is not their mother tongue. So they already have a mother tongue and they're learning English and they're learning Spanish. Some of our families say 3 languages at the moment is enough. So there's also the opportunity not to do an additional language and instead to get more help with your English, or indeed to be part of our Stretch and Challenge program, which at the moment is based on Greek and ancient civilization. We are accredited by international school bodies. We are getting another inspection this year, and we're very confident of being awarded outstanding across the board. And again, that's just a recognition and an understanding that as an established, successful school that is acknowledged through the accreditation of those international boards, to give us security to families of that I guess that we know what we're doing. The curriculum is at the heart of a good school, not just the curriculum that's taught from 9 to 4 in the classroom with the wonderful teachers that we have in our school, but what goes on outside of that. We have an extracurricular program, which is voluntary, but it means after school, students have the opportunity to take part in a wide range of academic, sporting, creative pursuits. We also have, this year, we've introduced an activities afternoon, which has been phenomenally successful already. The students, as part of our attempt to further broaden our already rich and broad curriculum, that they can take part every other Thursday in additional range of exciting opportunities. We've got, off the top of my head, we are offering yoga, golf, horse riding, debating society, first aid, chess club, learning the guitar. There's about 30 different activities that the students sign up to, and we rotate it on a termly basis. And the energy and the excitement and the passion for that has been really fantastic. And as I say, that's just to further broaden the rich curriculum offer that we have in place. And school is about more than just learning. It's about more than, certainly about more than exams, but it's about more than just learning and the curriculum. A parent said to me once, school is my son's second home, and that sits with me. And the care for your children, the well-being of your children, the pastoral side of school, which means the nurture and the looking after, is at the heart of our school. It's why we are a good school. It's why we are very popular, and it's why we are, as I said, going from strength to strength. That is recognised, that alongside the excellent teaching and learning, the high standards, the high expectations, the exam results, best exam results last summer in the school's history, there is that current of care and compassion and nurture. We care very much for our students. When we came back after lockdown, it was even more high profile than normal, recognizing that children have been out of school for so long. But that stays with us. If children aren't happy, if they're not enjoying school, then they're not going to be successful, however clever they are, however good at different subjects they are. So the well-being of our students, making sure that they are cared for, that they know who to go to if there is a problem. Problems happen, they're children, we're a school, they will happen. But it's how they're dealt with, and it's how those children are looked after that is important. You can see in the picture there the fantastic Miss von Barbara, who's been an outstanding teacher at the school for many years, loved and respected by staff and students, and she is the wellbeing lead across the school, which means that she manages the heads of house and that whole caring side of the school, and the students know that they can go to her, but they can go to many people in the school, and she oversees that provision to make sure that, I say, that no child gets missed, that no child gets lost, and that all children are happy and enjoying school. I think this is when I hand over to Miss Hodgson. We're very much one school. We are an all-through school, as I said at the beginning, and we work as one school. We work as one leadership team. I'm very blessed to have wonderful leaders, three of whom you meet this evening in my team. But also the school is in different phases, and those parts of the school are led by the people that you will meet today. So I'm going to hand over now to Miss Hodgson, who's currently the fantastic leader of the primary school.
Thank you, Miss Colwell. Can everyone hear me? Excellent. Thank you for giving a fantastic overview of the school. And I have a pleasure of teaching in the primary department, and it's what I'd like to tell you a little bit about now. And the primary department has fantastic specialist primary teachers and learning support assistants who have a passion for teaching primary children, teaching our youngest learners. At BIC, we offer education from years 3 upwards all the way up to year 18. And as Ms. Colwell has just said, it truly is wonderful to see them go from 3 years old all the way to 18. And it also has that special advantage of being able to connect with the teachers that your child may have throughout their life, all the way up to sixth form. And it starts off our school at the early years foundation stage, which is preschool. In teacher jargon, we say the early years foundation stage, but it's preschool. And preschool is the chance to build up, to prepare for the more formal of education of year 1. It's a great opportunity, particularly more than anything, I believe, is to develop English skills and communication skills. And if you're worried about your child that may not have a lot of English or may not have any English, please don't worry at all, because they pick up English so incredibly fast. The system that we run is an immersive system, and they're in there all the time. And it was only this morning that I was in a year 1 classroom with Mr. Fairless, and he was teaching his topic about magical toys. And they were studying a book called Stanley Sticks, I think. I was so super impressed about the level and the progress that some of these children came into school last year with no English. And it was really heartwarming to see them participating in class with him. Their language will pick up. And we also have learning support assistants to help children as well that need that extra kind of concentration on learning English. So as you can see, the early years foundation stage, it's based on 7 areas of learning, which includes the literacy and the mathematical development. Academic success is important, of course it is, but also so are the other parts. The play-based learning, outdoor learning, as Ms. Colwell spoke about, the physical development and creativity. And then from early years, they move into stage 1. Thank you, Janine. Stage 1 and 2. Stage 1 and 2, again, we're working very closely with the early years team. So the year 1 teachers and the year 2 teacher makes up key stage 1, and they work very closely with the team to make sure that it is fluid between both of the key stages. And again, there are continued support for those children that need it, and not just in English. Maybe they need a little extra support in maths, or maybe on the other side, which we do a lot of, is stretch and challenge, challenging those children that need that a little bit more. And we have great success at doing that. So the learning assistant, support assistants, and the teachers are there to really bring out the best in your child. From year 1 and year 2, they move on to Key Stage 2. And that's about when your child turns 7 years old. They move on to the Key Stage 2 programme. It becomes a slightly more formal, slightly more academic, and the subjects we're covered at a greater depth. And as Ms. Colwell mentioned, from year 3 upwards, all the students are offered Spanish. We have Spanish 4 times a week. And in Key Stage 2, they also offered additional language, whether it be German or French, or not if they don't. If they don't want that, we can cater for stretch and challenge, learning support, etc. We understand that we're a British school, of course, but we value being an international school and the Spanish language as well. At at 11 years old, they turn to Key Stage 3. But before we're moving on to Key Stage 3 and passing on to Ms. Tomlinson, I wanted to just add a little bit of detail about the activities afternoon that Ms. Colwell was speaking about earlier. It is activities afternoon. We have it on our Thursday afternoons, and it's a chance to kind of broaden and deepen the curriculum that the children would normally get. It's an absolute joy. Walking around last week was an absolute joy to see them. From the younger ones, we have, on top of the subjects, as Ms. Colwell has mentioned, year 1, we're in a Zamba band. Year 3 was Stomp. We had Movie Magic, where the children were learning to use technology in apps and perform magic. I mean, their faces were a delight. In year 4, year 6, we also had yoga, outside yoga. And again, it's another way of broadening the curriculum and looking at things in slightly non-traditional methods. So the children were having a chance to practice their breathing, to relax, to stretch, to think positive thoughts. And again, all of those activity afternoons that we see in Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2 go ahead into Key Stage 3 and up to 6th form. I am talking too much about activities afternoon, so I will pass you on to Ms. Thompson. I know that she feels the same as I do.
I do. Thank you very much, Ms. Hodgson. Really welcome to all of our families who are joining us this evening. And it's really that word welcome that I want to focus on at first. I'm so proud of the students across the school, the secondary students who I'm mostly responsible for in terms of their development, their growth, their self-worth, and of course their academic achievements. And just a few sort of images really that I take with me from this first half term are images of our new students who have joined the school, who at the beginning of term were very, very nervous, as you would expect, who didn't know what they were going into, who in many cases didn't know any students in the school at all. And in some cases, I'm going to be completely honest with you, found it quite difficult in the first few days, maybe even the first couple of weeks of term. But I walked around today at lunchtime and at break time, as I often do, as we all do, and really saw joy, that same word that Ms. Hodgson used, joy on the faces of particularly students who had struggled to join the school at the opening of term. And the reason why they're happy now, and they were groups of friends with groups of students, is testament to really the student body, the way in which they welcome with joy, with open arms, new students. And it's not just about welcoming new students, it's about the way in which they interact and support each other. And that's something that I have witnessed since I joined the school at the beginning of last academic year. And that same welcome, that same love, that same care that both Ms. Colwell and Ms. Hodgson have spoken about was extended to me upon joining. And that's really impressive by a student body to be able to have that self-confidence that give, that sense of worth to be able to show that and demonstrate that to both staff and students. And it is, of course, in the secondary school that we build on the skills of the primary school. Academically, Ms. Hodgson has spoken about the way in which further down the line in primary, their skills are deepened, and there is more academic and serious focus as well in that sense. And of course, that's something that we build on in the secondary school too. But what's really important, and I'll go through grades and subjects and how our curriculum works in a little bit, but what's really important to us is that our students leave at the end of their time at BIC, so the end of their time in the secondary school in year 13, that they leave with a conscious ability to be able to, there's a bit of a metaphor I'm using here, be able to walk through any door into any room around the world. And we live in a global world, and it's really important in an international school that our students have that sense of connection beyond Mallorca, beyond Europe, beyond Britain, to a global environment, to be able to walk into any circumstance, any situation confidently, talk to people, be interested in other people, engage with them, be able to problem solve and think freely, stand on their own 2 feet. And those are the principles, as well as those that you can see in the slides that we've been shared at the beginning of integrity, compassion, respect, and excellence. Those principles as well are what guide us and what guide the teachers in this school. And the teaching in this school really is excellent. It really is second to none. Ms. Colwell has spoken about the qualifications that our teachers have, British-based, and I would second that. They are excellently trained, excellent qualifications, many of whom have come from the top schools in the UK. So I want to just draw your attention to, as I said before, our curriculum and how that's structured in the secondary part of the school. So students go into what we call year 7. So that's the first year, if you like, of secondary school. And year 7, year 8, year 9 are 3 years consequentially, and that we call sort of as a group key stage 3, they're called collectively. So those students at a key stage 3 study over the course of those 3 years the subjects that you see in front of you in the screen, as you would expect. English language and literature, and of course, exactly as Ms. Powell has already mentioned and Ms. Hodgson, we have an excellent programme for our students who are not first language speakers of English, and they very, very quickly, and I echo what Ms. Hodgson said, pick up the English skills that they need, particularly the fluency skills, those higher level skills, those written skills in terms of sophistication and expression that they require for their qualifications later on down the line. So Key Stage 3 really is a building block towards GCSE. And you can expect in Key Stage 3, we do set in maths, so we have 3 sets for maths for each year. And we also have Spanish, so for our parents or our students who don't have Spanish at all, who've never studied Spanish, don't panic, because we have beginners Spanish groups in every single year group for Key Stage 3, as well as intermediate and more advanced Spanish for our Spanish-speaking students, both who are Spanish and for students who have been living in Spain for a very, very, very long time. But all of our other subjects are what we call mixed ability for students, and we're really quite proud of that our students mix together, that they are taught obviously singularly, individually. There is personalization in the classroom, and they are challenged, and they are stretched, and they are pushed, but they work together. So students of all sorts of different backgrounds and abilities work together in subjects like history, geography, English, drama, art and music, in order to work collaboratively and independently through the curriculum. And obviously Ms. Colwell spoke about our house system. In year 7, students are, as they are in Key Stage 1 and 2 in early years, they are placed into what we call a house. That we have 4 houses. So we have called Galileo Parks, Winton, and Roosevelt as well. And they are placed into a tutor group. And that tutor group is actually full of students from across year groups, again, to foster that sense of community, that sense of love. We have older students looking after younger students, mentoring and modelling academic and personal and social behaviours, high level behaviours for our younger students. So we have our year 7, 8, 9 and 10 will all be in one little tutor group. It's not big, it'll be about 12 to 15 students, and that nurture that Ms. Colwell talked about is present in that way. And then we have our upper school, what we call our upper school tutor groups, which are house tutor groups with year 11, 12 and 13. So then we move into secondary GCSE. So that's what we call year 10 and 11. So this is the year, year 10 is the first year towards gaining that, what we call that GCSE qualification, that general certificate of secondary education qualification that you receive, you work towards, the students work towards at the end of year 11, at the end of Key Stage 4. So that's really a time to start specialising in some subjects, although it certainly does not preclude being able to take other subjects, or even subjects that you've perhaps given up at A-level. But some of those subjects at GCSE certainly are subjects that you still have to continue anyway. So those, what we call core compulsory subjects, are English language, English literature. These are subjects that students have to do. And on top of that, we have Spanish. They must do that. Of course, we live in Spain. That goes without saying. Maths and the sciences they must study as well. But in addition to that, that gives them 6, if you like, qualifications. In addition to that, students choose three subjects of their own choice that they can specialise in, if you want to sort of look at it that way. So those subjects are, again, exactly the same that they've studied at Key Stage 3. So there is that sort of linear approach, building on the subject knowledge and the skills that they've been taught at Stage 3. We also have extra subjects that they can choose from that are a little bit new to them. So subjects like sports science as well, and perhaps subjects like business studies. Those are perhaps they're quite exciting, they're quite enticing to students to take as extra subjects in those 3 choices. But they can still, of course, providing that they've got a really good handle on them from Key Stage 3, they can choose French. A lot of, we have our students who are French, who are German, can continue with their languages and develop those skills in their own language, which is really, really important for those students to do so as well. In geography, in history, so these are the choices in computer science, and as I said, drama, art and music. So building on the subjects that they have studied at GCSE, at Stage 3 for GCSE. And then you go into sixth form. So we have year 12 and we have year 13. Those are the year groups that you take your A-levels, that our students will take their A-levels. And our subjects at A-level, again, build on exactly the same subjects that they've studied all the way through school. And again, they will diversify then into 3 subjects. Then they will choose 3 to 4 subjects at A-level. And those subjects will be those that you see on the screen, and additionally economics, sociology, travel and tourism, psychology, IT, sports science. So again, there's more of a diverse range for students to choose from as well in order to complete their A-levels. Our results, as you can see on the screen, exactly as Ms. Colwell said, are absolutely excellent. The best results the school has had last year and the year before were the best results. So we are going from strength to strength, as you've heard so far in this presentation. But our A-level results, as you can see, were absolutely phenomenal. The 100% A star to C pass, and with a 60% pass at A star and A. And again, our IGCSE results match that in terms of the overall pass rate and in terms of the attainment at the highest level. So I think I'm going to finish there. Hopefully I've given you a sense and an overview, certainly of the curriculum at secondary, and look forward to welcoming you. BIC.
Thank you, everyone. We are slowly coming to an end of the presentation. I'm just going to give you a little overview of the admissions process. We always try to make the process as simple as possible for all our families. As you can see on the screen here, we have our lovely Miss Holly. Miss Holly, I mean, probably most of you have been in contact with her. She runs the day-to-day of the admissions, so either me or Holly, we can ask any we can answer any questions that you have. But just to give you a little overview, so the first step in order to apply for our school obviously would come visit us. We would really love to show you around if you have not done so yet. You would meet the principal, you would meet the head of primary and head of secondary in person, so you can discuss anything a bit more in detail towards your children. Once you're ready and say, okay, we would like to go ahead, we will start with what I always like to call a little bit of a paperwork, but we would start with application form and you would hand in the school reports. If we see that it would be required, we will also conduct an assessment just to make it clear, make sure we are an inclusive school. So these assessments are not really to identify we're going to accept the student or not, but it's important for us to know their level in different areas just to see when they start how we best can help them to have a very smooth start. Once you're ready, so we would accept and secure the place. We would then confirm the place and we would then finalize all the documentation in terms of the registration fee, passports, etc. So it's really a very straightforward process. I mean, it can be done in a couple of days. It's just very important that we have the right information so we can make sure that your children have a very, very happy and smooth start. I'm going to now show you a little video that I mentioned at the beginning, which is the sixth form video that our sixth formers made for you. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a moment and reshare that in a second. Just preparing everything. Okay. Just 1 second, I'll be with you in a minute. Sorry, I'm having some little technical issues, but I'll be with you in a minute. Share some, okay.
Hi, I'm Jessica, a current year 12 student here at BIC. I've attended here for 5 years and it's been an incredible journey. I'm excited to show you around and tell you about my experience. I have a passion for music and theatre and the school has really helped me out with that, with growing my confidence and allowing me the opportunity to pursue my passion.
Hi, my name is Santos and I'm the head boy here at BIC. I'm currently in year 13, which is my final year, and what a journey it's been. I have a great passion for sports and I'd love to show you what it's all about. Okay, so let's start. Come on in.
Okay, so to give you an idea on how our school is laid out, on either side of the reception area we have the primary section. So on the ground floor is where all the young kids start off their learning. And above we have the secondary area with all the secondary classrooms and especially the specialist subjects that they learn, such as art, but we'll show you those later.
Later on, we'll show you our fantastic outside area, which is really, really big, and has a lot of space for outdoor activities such as sports.
Right, well, before we go on the tour, I'm sure this has caught your eye. This was done by an amazing year 3 student who is studying artists in Kenya. And there's plenty of artwork around the school, which really brightens up the place. So come on, let's take a look.
Okay, let's be a bit quiet because I think the kids are exactly.
I'm really sorry.
Now we're going to go and take a look inside the Year 5 classroom, but I think they're doing presentations. Here we are in front of a Year 6 classroom. Let's take a look inside.
Let's see what they're getting up to.
Okay, now we're going to go upstairs to see our secondary facilities, where we're going to meet our teachers and students.
Up there, you'll find specialist classrooms such as arts, languages, computing. Let's take a look. So here we are on the upper floor where our secondary area is. As you walk through, you'll be able to see some amazing artwork from all of our students.
Here we have Miss Wade, one of our math teachers. Come and have a look. This is one of our labs. I've personally done a lot of experiments.
Oh, and some of them come really quite long to plan.
This is one of our specialist classrooms that we spoke about before. Come and have a look inside of our computer science lessons. Now we're in my favourite part of the school, the outdoors, where there's a massive area for lots of sports facilities like basketball courts, football courts, and this is especially what I've used the most over the years, seeing as I'm a sports enthusiast. I also love to come out here to eat my lunch, as usually when there's good weather, so basically every day.
Santa's just said this is a great area for sports, but I like to use it a bit differently. For drama students like myself, it's great to come out here, surrounded by nature, using this amazing space. It really gives me a lot of inspiration for the pieces that we create. And you know, it's really nice to hear the birds, and it's just really quiet, away from everything else. And it's a really great environment, especially with this amazing weather.
Well, this is coming to an end, but as I mentioned before, my name is Santos, and it's been a pleasure to show you around the school.
Obviously, we've only shown you little clips of the school, and there is so much more to see. So we'd be more than happy to welcome you here for a visit and experience the whole thing. Once again, thank you, and see ya.
Bye.
Thanks, Janine. I think that video is so lovely. I'm sorry there were a few little technical difficulties there with the sound, but I hope despite that you got a sense of the joy and the love that's in the school. And also I think it's really significant that those students there, who I get a tingle every time I talk about this, that they just want to, those older students who've been at their school for so long, it's part of it's a big part of their life today, that they want to do that. They want to talk about the school. They want to show off and showcase the school and be so proud of the school. Being proud of your school is something that's very important to us. So I hope you could see through those technical difficulties and get to the heart of what was being said there. I know this is the point when we go to questions, and the lovely Janine will field these, but I did see a question that had come in quite a while ago. Janine, is it okay if I take that one about class sizes? Because apparently we talked about the class size and the teacher ratio, and as a general answer, we try to not have a class over about 22, 23. It's a guide, it's an indicator, but it's also not a golden rule. It's not a sort of cast in iron rule, because to me, and if you've heard me speak before, I am the broken record, because what is more important than the class size is the quality of the teacher. And when I came, when I joined the school and found amazing teachers, and we've since added to those amazing teachers, that is the most important thing. And it's a peculiarly British interest that people always talk about class size. And I always give the same answer, that the quality of the teacher is more important than the size of the class. We do have, as I say, about a 22, 23. That's what we think is an optimum size. If it goes 1 over or 2 over, it's not important, so long as the teaching is outstanding, and that's what we have in BIC Porrassa, outstanding teaching, and that's the size we try to keep. As you go into GCSE, when you get into years 10 and 11 and you go into more specialist teaching, those class sizes will reduce even more because children choose the classes that they want to study, so their options, their choices, and so those class sizes can be much smaller. And of course, once we get into sixth form in years 12 and 13, they're more like university tutorials, and we have classes of maybe 5, 7, 10. We've got one very lucky student who's having a one-to-one with our amazing physics teacher, Mr. Warren. I mean, he is an astonishing student, but he's being taught by an astonishing teacher. So as we get into sixth form, of course, those class sizes get much smaller. But the optimum that we go for is 22, 23. But as I said, I will always answer class size questions with the more important thing about the quality of the teacher.
Thank you, Ms. Colwell. I can already see a couple of questions coming through, so please, I urge everyone, if there is any questions that you have, also if you're watching this with your children, ask them if they have any questions. We will be more than happy to answer them. Please use the Q&A button on your screen to type any questions that you have, so we can record those questions and come back to you with further information if it's needed. There is one question in regards, do you have a boarding house? Ms. Colwell.
No, I was laughing because I sometimes feel like I'm a boarder at the school. The amount of time that because we care so much about. No, we don't. We're not a boarding school. We are a day school, but we have extended hours to do the extracurricular. That said, the other weekend we had 100 students staying into the early hours on a Saturday morning with the fantastic science team on our space night when they were looking at the stars, under the stars. It was wonderful. So we do have an extended curriculum, as we said, but we don't have boarding facilities, no.
Thank you. Does each club have a teaching assistant, and are they full-time? Ms. Colwell, would you like to take this one?
Yes, and yes, I can. No, in primary school, we have a learning and support assistant with each class. We have highly skilled, wonderful learning support assistants. We don't call them teaching assistants. They're not to support the teacher. They don't do, as I've seen in schools in the past, they're not there to sort of do the admin. They're there to support the learning, and we have wonderful skilled learning support assistants that are attached to the year group, so they get to know the students, and Miss Hodgson and Miss Compton make the decisions each year about where they go, but in general they will often move up with the year group because they've got to know the children so well. So that's in the primary school. In secondary, we don't have them attached to the class. That's not the model that we use. We have fantastic teaching and learning. We do have members of support staff to help with that, but in primary school, yes, they're attached to the year group, and they're wonderful.
Thank you, Ms. Colwell. There is a question a bit more in regards of the admissions. Are we able to complete the application process while waiting for our child's EU passport application to complete? The answer is yes. So we can go throughout the whole process. We can secure your child's place. We can do everything before you get the passport issue. So we can have all arranged, and then obviously just finalize everything once you're ready. But yes, we can do everything beforehand. Are there any waiting lists for any school years?
Yeah, we do have waiting lists. Going back to the question that we said earlier about class sizes, and so inevitably we do have limits that we put, and we squeeze them because we think, as I say, it's about the quality of teaching. But we do now have waiting lists currently for this school year due to the fantastic work that's gone on in the school, due to the fantastic teaching and learning and the great leadership across the school that you've seen here with the two heads of school and other middle leaders across the school. We have waiting list in year 6, year 8 and year 10, and we're very close to capacity in other years. Obviously, as an international school, we see movement over the year, but we've seen less of it in the last 2 years, and we're hopeful that this year we don't want anyone to leave our school, but we don't want anyone to leave our school other than if family circumstances mean that they relocate. So yes, there are waiting lists. So if people are interested in our school, we say tell us, and we put your name down, of course, and secure that place. But that's a testament to the wonderful work that's gone on in the school.
Thank you, Ms. Colwell. There is question. Well, they would like to know a little bit more about sixth form. I'm just going to answer that quickly. Marlene, we do have a couple of sixth form events coming up in the month of November. It's a bit more information sessions that also our wonderful head of sixth form, Mr. Barter, will lead, and we will go into every detail of the subjects that we have available, what's coming up in September. So I'm going to share those with you as well, so you can. Some of them are virtual, and if you are on the island, obviously some are in school, and you are more than welcome to join them, all of them.
Can I just add on the back of that, Janine? Thank you. Mr. Barter he's the fifth member of this leadership team that you see here. I mean, we have a wider leadership team, but in terms of heading the schools up, he is extraordinary. He is very experienced. He's led 3 sixth forms. He's similar to me, 30 years of experience, a wealth of experience in schools in the UK and in Spain. He's led 3 sixth forms. He's led outstanding sixth forms. What Mr. Barter doesn't know about sixth form, about the development of those young people, about the support and mentoring and the care and nurture, about A-levels, about university, about entry to university around the world, isn't worth knowing. We are so lucky to have him. Unfortunately, having not had a day off in the 2 years I've known him, and I suspect very few in the 30 years he's been teaching, he's been stricken quite low this week. We hope not with the dreaded disease, but he's on the road to recovery. Otherwise, he would be here today. And he is really a wonderful, wonderful member of the leadership team. As I say, leads the sixth form. I mean, the sixth form is just another aspect of the school that is just going from strength to strength. So if you do have, we're sorry, we're sorry, we wish him well from his sick bed. We hope you get out of it soon. But if you want to have very specific questions about that area of the school, and that's one of the other reasons why having an all-through school is such a strength. It's so wonderful. We've had students that join us as little children, age 4, and they leave us going off to university to study in some of the most prestigious places around the world, and that continuity of education is something that the parents value and want, and all levels of the school, starting with Miss Hodgson and then to Miss Tomlinson and then culminating with Mr. Barter, means that your children are in not just safe hands, but caring hands, experienced hands, expert hands.
Great, thank you. Are there after school and holiday clubs? Ms. Cole, would you like to take this one?
I think everyone's probably getting a bit bored with my voice. I don't know.
Miss Tomlinson.
I know Miss Tomlinson is as passionate as well. Miss Hodgson, we're also passionate. We're just doing a passionate team. I know you're especially been involved in the whole extracurricular side and the enrichment side. And do you want to, so people don't get bored with my voice?
I don't think anybody could get bored with your voice, Miss Colwell. It's beautiful and expert. But yes. Co-curricular program is really strong. It wasn't easy last year, I can tell you, to be able to deliver it under COVID conditions. Fortunately, it seems like we're being a little bit more freed up from those. But actually, a reason I'm sharing that with you is because, again, that's testament to the commitment of the staff and school and of all of us to ensuring that the students have that that wider experience. We are really passionate about it. So even against the backdrop of COVID restrictions, we managed to continue on with things like concerts at Christmas, choirs, musicals, albeit we weren't able to have full audiences for those, but we still managed to ensure that the students had that experience of auditioning and going through those productions, as well as all of our sporting activities too. I mean, outside at lunchtime and break time, we have students on the football pitches, 2 football sites, we have basketball going on, we have badminton inside our sports hall going on, and table tennis, we have volleyball, and this is just at lunchtime and break time. After school, we have a full complement of the kind of extracurricular activities that you would expect in an excellent independent school and an excellent independent British international school. And though the sort of flavour of those we were given a few slides ago, but we have things like Creative Writing Club, we have ballet, we have a broad range of all of the arts clubs that you would expect, the music club, the drama club, the art club as well. But on top of that, as I said, we have after school sports clubs, swimming, basketball, we have volleyball. Our volleyball teacher, or our PE teacher, our sports teacher is actually a national representative for volleyball. So carries that passion with her as well. But we have external companies and organisers who come into, so things like that you saw, jiu-jitsu and football too. So really strong, at least 3 or 4 clubs going on every night that students can choose from. So a really wide range. And again, we've got all sorts of things going on in terms of production, choir. We're doing the musical production this year of Matilda. So you know, the students are really excited about that. And we have you know, extra events to that, such as, I think you might have spotted that senior team, most of us are wearing pink today. So we were celebrating, well, it's honouring Breast Cancer Awareness Day, observing that day today. So it's not just those after school events, it's not just activity afternoons, although they are as exciting as Ms. Hodgson described. It's not just all of the sporting events, and we have house events, we have house competitions, inter-house sporting competitions as well. We had a university challenge quiz competition where the houses competed a few weeks ago. It was really impressive. But we also have that sort of social concern, if you like, those social projects going on too. So when you think about a broad range of extracurricular, it's not just after school, it's woven into the fabric of the school.
Thank you, Ms. Tomlinson. Jack is also asking in terms if the clubs are running during holidays, during school holidays. So the clubs are not running during school holidays. However, during the summer, in the month of July, we have a fantastic summer school as well available. We will soon, I believe around January, we will send out all the information. But it's normally happening throughout the month of July from Monday to Friday.
And on the questions that have come up, Janine, about after school and homework and trips, yes, we've again, as Miss Tomlinson was saying, we had to press pause on some things, but as soon as that pause comes off, we're going at it great guns, and we've already got school trips planned for this school year. We're taking several groups to do the Model United Nations in Bilbao. We're taking a trip to London. We're taking a school trip to France later in the year, and last year, despite the restrictions, especially in primary, there were lots of local school trips that Miss Hodgson led on of students to go and get that enrichment that's outside of the classroom. And we do have before school provision if parents want to have that as a sort of breakfast club, and there is after school if there's a need for that. But yeah.
Thank you. There is another question. Can I already secure a place for my daughter for next year to start sixth form? The answer is yes, you can. However, we will need to make sure to go through the process, the admissions process, making sure that obviously the sixth form requirements, entry requirements. I mean, you would have an interview with Mr. Barter as well, but obviously we can start the process now. And once the process has been passed, then you can secure the place. Just double check.
I think we've covered. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think there is one more here that I almost skipped. Is the school year for pupils based on British year September, August, or the Spanish January, December? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, you know that British it's September to
August, correct.
Someone's asked about the school meals as well. We have a new catering company that the option is for students to bring in their own lunch from home, or to have a nutritious, warm meal on the school premises. And we'll say we've got a new catering company that we had worked with this year. Is also the catering company that works in our sister school, and the quality of food is very good.
Thank you. Just on that topic, it's not compulsory to take the school meals. I mean, if you would like to also bring your own packed lunch, that's possible. The children eat together. So it's very, very flexible. We want to make sure that it's very flexible. If you would like to say, okay, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I would like my child to eat in school, and then Tuesday and Thursday, I would like to bring my own, bring their own lunch, that's absolutely not a problem. So we try to be as flexible as possible, but we're going to make sure that your children eat their lunch. That's, of course. If we were to apply for entry September 2022, when would the in-person processes happen? Thank you, Leanne. Well, as soon as possible, really. I mean, I will be in contact with you after this presentation tomorrow, so we can arrange also one-on-one call with Ms. Colwell, and then we can discuss the further steps. If you're currently on the island, obviously we would invite you to come and visit us.
I think we've done probably most of the questions there. Actually, can I just say a sort of final few words, Janine?
Absolutely, yes, definitely.
It's very nice to have the questions. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your participation, and I hope you've had a sense of the school and the flavour of what we do and what we care about, what we don't care about, and what we do care about. As I said, I'm very lucky, very blessed to work with wonderful teachers and a wonderful leadership team, some of you whom you've met today. And please do not, this is just the start of the process. If you're interested in our school, if you'd like to find out more, as Janine said, we can arrange visits, you can arrange more one-to-one meetings with ourselves across the miles like this. But I hope you get a sense of the passion and the journey that the school is on. We've talked about waiting lists. That's wonderful. That's lovely. But what we care about is about every single child that's in our care. I talked earlier about some of the investment in the facilities, and I think I'd like to end on a line that the amazing head of science said when we were looking at what we're planning to do with the science labs, because they're not the best science labs on the island at the moment. They will be excellent, but it's definitely the best science teaching on the island. He said to me, we don't need the labs to sparkle. The teaching in this school sparkles. And I think that really sums it up. It's all about the teaching. It's about the quality of the people that we have in our school, the people I'm so lucky to work alongside. And if you do choose us and entrust your children to our care, we will not let you down.
Thank you, Ms. Cowell. Just echo that. Again, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Just as said before, we have recorded this session, so we're going to share that with all of you. And we'll be in touch very soon with you as well, so we can arrange these individual meetings with our team. I think those are important. I think that's an important step to follow. So in the meantime, if you have any questions, please email us directly. You can contact any of us here on the screen, and we will make sure to answer those as soon as possible. Thank you again. We wish you all a lovely, lovely evening or morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you very, very soon here in school. Thank you. Bye bye.